much better weapon, like an epic weapon or even an orange, maybe the ray gun, are much better, then I'll start spinning the box. But I won't typically do it in the first 15, 20 rounds of my game quite often. The RNG, in my opinion, just makes it not worth it in the really early rounds, and so if you are a beginner player, you could maybe hit the box once in your game just to get a second weapon and see how that is and get some experience with some new guns, get a feel for them. That's a really good idea, but I wouldn't put all your stock in the mystery box if I were you, spinning it just a handful of times and expecting to get a really good weapon when you're on round 7. Chapter 11. Perks. There are 6 perks in D Machine, and there is no perk limit, so you can have them all at once. Some of the perks do different things to previous Zombies games, so listen up, I'll run through them now. Stamina is upstairs in Narc, and it increases your run and sprint speed. Juggernog is in the crash site, and it increases your max health by 50, also known as 1 hit. Speed Cola in the medbay increases your reload speed by 15%. Deadshot Daiquiri in the weapons lab automatically moves your aim down sight to enemy critical locations, such as the head for headshots, and it removes sniper scope sway. Quick Revive in the pond area doubles the speed that you regenerate your health at and doubles the speed at which you revive other players. It does not give you self-revives in solo, that is no longer the case in Cold War Zombies. And finally, Elemental Pop in the power room gives every bullet you fire a chance to apply a random base ammo mod effect. These are the same mods that you can purchase from the Pack-a-Punch, such as Deadwire or Blast Furnace. If you're just starting out, I recommend always buying Juggernog first. Chapter 12. Trials. The Trials machine on the map can be purchased to start a random challenge. If you do well in the challenge, the game will start charging up a reward meter. You can choose to redeem your reward when you finish your trial, or you can just start another trial to make your reward more rare. The rewards go all the way from green to orange rarity and are redeemed on the machine next to the Trials machine. It's usually worth trying to get epic or legendary rewards from the machine because you can get things like chopper gunners, free perks, and even legendary weapons. Chapter 13. Low round strategy, roughly 1 to 10 or so. In your first solo game, I recommend you stay in the spawn area as long as you can. The zombies will get faster as you go through the rounds, so practice moving between each zombie kill so that the zombies are constantly chasing you instead of overwhelming you in one area. As you kill zombies, you can pick up the equipment or stims and sometimes even self-revives that they drop. Try out all the ones that drop and see what you like. You've got to find your playstyle after all. If you run out of ammo, you can buy more from the ammo crate as well, and like I said before, it's very cheap to do so. For a non-Pack-a-Punch gun, it should only cost about 250 points. On round 8, leave one zombie alive. You're now going to open through the map and turn on power and activate Pack-a-Punch, all with that last zombie remaining, so do not kill it. On the way to power, we're going to buy Juggernog, and we're going to buy the Gallo SA-12 shotgun off the wall if our loadout is a little dicey. If you've got a good loadout, you don't need to buy this gun. It's just great for medium to low rounds, it's super reliable, it's a good one. When you finish building the Pack-a-Punch, you should use it if you have enough points to it. This is just going to make your life much easier, and with your packed weapon, you can end the round and start round 9. This should be a dog round, and my advice to you here is to make sure you don't get overwhelmed by killing the dogs as they come to you, instead of letting them all gang up on you at once and just trying to run away the whole time. You can do this round basically anywhere you like. The spawn is fine. Here I'm doing it on the plane wing. With that round out of the way, you'll be on round 10, and this is when your first megaton green boss zombie is going to spawn in. You can spend this round on the plane wing, where I just did that gameplay just then, or you can spend it in the spawn if you like as well. Your newly Pack-a-Punch gun should do a really good job of taking him down, especially if you aim for those headshots. But if you want a little pro tip, we're going to use the firebow just to show how effective that is. Run over to the crafting bench, buy yourself a firebow, and then make sure you get direct impacts on the boss with the firebow. He should be really easy to take down using the bow, and you'll also get a load of rare salvage when you do kill both the megaton bombers. And that can be used to buy a war machine for your exfil next round if you so desire. The fact that you Pack-a-Punch this early in your game should also mean your gun is really strong, and it should be fairly straightforward to take zombies down. When you start getting more points a bit later in your game, you can do things like buy Speed Cola and Pack-a-Punch further, but for now this thing's convenient. The key to all of this, when the megaton's spawned in, if you're getting a bit stressed, is to keep moving at all times, only killing zombies when you're definitely safe and when you're comfortable, or if they're blocking your escape route. Keep an eye on your minimap as well to help avoid getting snuck up on from behind, as you have permanent UAV, so you might as well make use of it. Chapter 14. Exfil. Every 5 rounds from round 11, you will have an option to exfil at the start of the round. The radio to start exfil sequences is in the spawn area of the map, and if you start it, a 1 minute and 30-second timer will begin. You will need to run as fast as you can to the pond area of the map, and when you get there, you'll see a zombies counter on the left side of your screen, telling you how many zombies you need to kill before the time runs out. This is obviously difficult if you have a weak loadout, so make sure you pack a punch as much as possible before you start the exfil sequence, and make sure you buy a score streak like a firebow or a war machine before you start it as well. There will usually be one megaton that you also need to kill alongside all the other zombies, and it's going to take some time for him to do his animation where he splits in two and you kill his 2 blasters, so shoot him as a matter of priority, otherwise you're simply going to run out of time killing those final 2 blasters. When you kill all the zombies, including the blasters, you need to wait for the chopper to land, and then you need to hold square to get on it and end your game. Actually getting on the chopper has to be done before the time runs out, so make sure you don't forget to do that. Exfilling successfully will give you an XP and Ethereum crystals bonus. Chapter 15. Ethereum crystals. You can spend your Ethereum crystals in the menu of the game to upgrade your perks, field upgrades, weapons, and ammo mods. You unlock crystals by beating milestone rounds, starting at round 10 and happening every 5 rounds thereafter, and by completing exfils. I recommend you start off spending your Ethereum crystals upgrading Juggernog to tier 3, because this means Jug will give you an extra 2 hits before dying instead of 1. Look through the menu and see which other upgrades appeal to you and your playstyle. If you really like a certain ammo mod, for instance, like Deadwire maybe, seeing as we're using that to take down the Megaton, then upgrade that one first. There's really no point hoarding crystals here, so feel free to just spend, and then jump into game to try and earn some more. This is now the start of the intermediate section of the video. I'm going to be assuming from here on that you're a slightly more experienced player who knows the basics and is ready to get into some more strategic playstyles, techniques, and strategies. Chapter 16. Best loadouts. There are 2 loadouts which I think stand out as being very, very strong. One, weirdly, is the combat knife, which you actually unlock at level 13. The knife one-hits zombies until around round 10, and if you're getting knife kills, you're also guaranteeing yourself the max number of points per kill, which is 150. The knife can be pack-a-punched also, so you can keep using it in later rounds if you want to. And you should also note here that the knife is not only good at very, very close range, it's actually got a little bit of distance to it, just a little, which makes all the difference when you're trying to stay away from zombies. Another really strong loadout weapon is the Gallo SA-12, or the Hauer, which I previously mentioned, but the SA-12 is definitely better, and it's unlocked at level 34. I would highly recommend using a barrel and body attachment on the shotgun to make its effective damage as great as possible. I would also highly suggest adding a larger magazine to the gun, because then when you pack-a-punch it, the magazine will get even larger. Chapter 17. A couple of tricks to increase your damage. There are a few different methods you can use to make sure that your damage output is as good as possible. One is your ammo mod choices. Like I said before, Deadwire is super effective on zombies that have armor such as Megatons, but it's not so effective on regular zombies that don't have armor. So, it makes more sense to try a different ammo mod on those zombies, such as Blast Furnace for instance, which actually ticks a lot quicker as well. Deadwire is going to activate every 15 seconds or so, whereas Blast Furnace is going to be more like 3 seconds. If you then have a second gun with, let's say, Brain Rot, you can use that weapon, turn a zombie, get it attacking for you, and then switch back to your Blast Furnace gun and shoot with that while your turned zombie does a load of work for you. It doubles up on the ammo mod capacity for damage. Another damage increase can come from using the right equipment. In the early rounds, it seems like all the equipment's the same, but once you start getting higher, you're going to want to make sure you prioritize picking C4 up instead of weaker explosives like Semtex. If you pick up C4 as well, and you've got it in your inventory, you'll automatically pick up any more C4 that you run over while you're playing, and this is a handy way of making sure that you don't have to manually grab it every single time. You can just focus on slaying, and it will slowly tick up in your inventory as you get those kills and run over the C4. You should also consider changing your field upgrade if you're getting more confident too. Ether Shroud is fantastic, but it is defensive, and if you want to be offensive, I recommend Ring of Fire. It boosts your damage when you're standing inside it by up to 5 times, and it recharges pretty fast when you're getting kills as well, so this is a really good one to consider. Chapter 18, a free perk and a free gun, potentially a free Wonderland. Instead of buying Juggernog as your first purchase every game, there's a trick to get it for free. This will also get you a weapon which could be rare and might even be legendary, like the ray gun or the wonder weapon in the map. Once you've built the Pack-a-Punch machine, shoot the 5 blue balls I'm going to show you in the gameplay just here. The first one is on the walkway, just behind this knocked over chair, and as you can see, it's glowing blue. Another is behind this metal grate, and to shoot this one, you're going to need to crouch. The third is up high, just above this little box thing on the wall. It's quite close to the ceiling. The fourth is easiest to see, I think, if you stand on the particle accelerator ring and you face towards armor, and then you look down. Let's just